about Sharma Devi Gurukulam. Vaveswaya, a great freedom fighter, a great Gandhian. But the Tamil Nadu Congress Committee gives 10,000 rupees for the Gurukulam to sustain and to maintain its affairs. When Periyar went there for the working committee, he found there are two halls separately. In one hall, the upper caste, Brahmin students were asked to sit and they were served food. And the other hall, non-Brahmin students were asked to sit and took food. And Periyar asked the Tamil Nadu Congress Committee, working committee meeting, if students cannot sit side by side and eat the food that is served by the ashram, which is funded by the Congress party, what is the meaning of Swaraj? If the Swaraj doesn't give that freedom to sit and eat equally with caste Hindus, I don't see there is any meaning in the political freedom. That was the question I was asked. And then that is the last thing that broke the camel's back. Periyar decided no more traveling with the Congress party. He was very clear about it. When all other leaders, from Mahatma Gandhi to all the grand galaxy of freedom movement leaders, including the leaders from the communist movement, they all thought that political freedom is the priority, is the first choice. But Periyar said no. Periyar said, without social freedom, your political freedom is meaningless. He said, it is a needle without an eye. The very same word he used. And he decided to fight the Congress. And I will not blame all congressmen. Most of the congressmen didn't understand what was really going inside the Congress leadership. Periyar exposed the Congress party. There were 11 elected All India Congress Committee members. I am an elected member now. All the 11 belong to upper caste. Periyar appeals to the Congress cadre. And even he went to the extent of identifying Chakra Chettiar. I don't know how many of you have heard about Chakra Chettiar. Such a strong, committed, stalwart, a trade union leader. And 2 years back, I had an occasion to address the Christian college students. When I was speaking to them, the principal was showing old records of the college, and I found Chakra Chettiar's name there. Chakra Chettiar was a student union president, and the Governor General came to the Christian college. And he was asked to welcome the Governor General. The Governor General was astonished to see the flow of language, his English, his command, his vocabulary. And immediately after the meeting was over, he called Chakra Chettiar and said, "Man, you should join the ICS." Chakra Chettiar refused. He said, that was not my cup of tea. And Periyar compared him with B.V. Giri. Both of them are trade union leaders. Both of them coming in the same time. Both of them, I don't underestimate the potential of B.V. Giri. I respect him. But B.V. Giri, to where he had gone, The pinnacle of his career was the President of India. What about Chakkara Chettiar? He asked that question. Is it reasonable? Is it justice? I think that such kind of two structures cannot give any meaning to political freedom unless every Indian is treated equally, everybody is given an equal opportunity, and every man has an equal value. I don't think that political freedom would be of no use. If that is my choice, I would prefer the British Raj. That is a stand of Periyar. For that, he never hesitated. And today, we walked 100 years. And every day, I am a believer in God. That's why I said I belong to the opposite camp. And I pray for Ayya's health. He should live for another 20, 25 years to guide us, to lead us, to give us strength. Because, who is a leader? A leader is one who sees the way, who knows the way, and leads the way. That was the leader, Periyar. And every time he had occasions to defend social justice, he never hesitated. When the communal GO, 1950, when the Supreme Court, by a single judgment, threw the communal reservation in the dustbin, and it was Periyar to stand up and organized mass protests, announced Hartal. He mobilized thousands and thousands of young men. Everybody was on the road demanding reservation. And Nehru could not understand what is reservation. Because Nehru, he belonged to such a high pedestal. And in those northern part of India, they didn't have much grasp of social justice. Because we were enlightened. And it was Perundalevar Kamaraj who stood by Thandai Periyar. And they convinced Nehru. And the first amendment was brought. That is why we have the reservation today. And today, Tamil Nadu has become the social justice capital of India, where we have 69% reservation, protected with the 9th schedule of the Constitution, cannot be touched. And subsequently, Kalaignar made reservation for the minorities also. That also has withstood the test of law. Whenever an occasion comes, when the scheduled caste officers invited him for a meeting, he just thundered, declared in the High Court, so far, not even a single judge from the scheduled caste community. How many years of the High Court? Hundreds of years. Even after freedom, he made an appeal to the Chief Minister. In the Madras High Court should see a judge from the Dalit community, from the scheduled caste, and immediately Kalaignar put Justice Varadarajan as the High Court judge of Chennai, and subsequently he became the first Dalit judge of the Supreme Court. And a single man army. And whenever my friends, we calculate the life of a man, how long he has lived, I used to say, we have to count his life after his death. After his death, how long he lives? After his death, how long he is relevant? and my dear students and fellow delegates, panelists, Periyar is not a leader of the past. He is the teacher of the present and guide for the future. Before I conclude, I will just invite your attention to a small write-up by Arundhati Roy that will give you a picture what happens today. And that will give you a clarity. And what Periyar told in 1926, Ambedkar declared in 1950 in the Constituent Assembly. Periyar said, without social democracy, political democracy is meaningless. And Baba Saheb Dr. Ambedkar presented the draft resolution of the Constitution to the Constituent Assembly for approval. He said, on 26th of 1950, India will awaken into a strange circumstance where everybody will have one vote. Politically, everybody will have one value. But socially and financially, nobody will have. One day, those people who have been denied the social equality and the financial equality will blow out your political freedom. That is what Baba Saheb Dr. Ambedkar said. And Arundhati Roy, she has taken up an article in which she said, what is the current situation prevailing in our society? She says, now caste has been corporatized. She uses the word. Caste has been corporatized. And she says, you see all the big corporates and see the people who are behind it. And instead of exposing themselves to people that they belong to one particular social strata, they wear the corporate cloak and hide themselves behind these corporations. And the corporations promote caste rivalry not only in India, but also wherever Indians are there, this caste rivalry is put forth. That is Arundhati Roy says. And says, there is a deadly alloy created by blending Hindu nationalism and corporate interests. In the last 11 to 12 years, it has shaped not just India, but the whole world around us. Just look at it, who these corporates and what caste these families belong to. It is not just Hindu nationalism. It is modernizing and corporatizing caste in that way. It is absolutely shocking. You look at the judges, you look at the media, the ownership. It is like you are running an apartheid society, but it is not color-coded. It has got some other kind of code. What is the aim of this? The aim of this is that those particular castes continue to rule disguised as nationalists, and the wealth continues to be concentrated at the fewer and fewer hands. This is what Arundhati Roy said. So, the symposium is well-timed. Periyar is still relevant. As long as social inequality is there, we need Periyar. As long as social injustice is there, we need Periyar. And as long as there is two kinds of treatment and two kinds of approach in this country, Periyar is needed. Periyar is needed. I congratulate the University of Madras, Professor Armstrong, and also Ayya Veeramani Ayya, who has been contributing enormously for this movement. I just, used to think about it. But for Ayya Veeramani, what would have happened to this movement? What would have happened to this movement? Periyar is a great man. How we treat him as a great man, we estimate him as a great man because he has selected a proper disciple to hand over his ideals in the proper hands. So, it's a wonderful opportunity. I thank all the delegates. We need Periyar more and more. And Periyar's ideology is the only antidote to fascism. That is how Rahul Gandhi has approved now. It has come to a full circle. 100 years back, when the Congress leadership was not willing to accept that social justice is the main criterion on which the society should be weighed, measured. 100 years back, Rahul Gandhi, the Congress leader, has openly declared Congress has committed a mistake. We didn't pay much concentration and attention to social justice. And now I feel now, unless and until we pay enough attention to social justice, managing the fascist tendency may not be possible. So that is the light Periyar has given us. And because, I'm very much happy to see the hall fully packed. So many youngsters who want to know about Periyar, want to spread the message of Periyar. That itself is a signal that Periyar will never die. He will live for thousands of years. Thank you. God bless.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. You are a fantastic speaker already, but we were very glad we could listen to it now. And I would like to invite Dr. S. Armstrong to kindly felicitate Mr. S. Peter Alphonse. And also to facilitate Mr. R. Balakrishnan IAS. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. R. Balakrishnan is a distinguished Indologist with over 35 years of research focusing on the post-Indus migrations and the Harappan cultural legacy. In this enlightening session, Mr. R. Balakrishnan will explore the deep historical and cultural foundations of rational thinking, tracing its roots within South Asian and particularly Tamil civilizational traditions. I now welcome Mr. R. Balakrishnan to present on roots of articulation, the historical and cultural roots of rational thinking.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody. Respectful Asiriyar and Mr. Peter Alphonse and Mr. Armstrong and all of you. I know that how difficult to talk before lunchtime. Just is going to be lunch hour. I'm going to speak to you. Basically, I will try to be as brief as possible, and also I will respond how you respond to that. Depending on that, I will speak. First, you must notice that when everybody talk about Periyar, self-respect movement, Dravidian movement, in this particular conference, I chose to speak about something taking back, to talk about the roots of articulation, the historical and cultural setting for rational thinking. First, I will handle these two words. Roots. It's a Tamil, we call it a vergal. Then, when you think about it, there is a plant. Plant has got a stem, it has got a tree, has got a bark, then branches, and flower and fruits. And then the greatest tree always think that about the banyan tree, alamara. Then there is also roots. There is also an aerial roots. That's called vergal and viludugal. That means an aerial roots. It's an anatomy of a banyan tree on one side. So ultimately, what holds is basically the roots which is holding. What is the roots? Always we have to think about where this particular ideology starts from, where the thinking coming. And then second word I use is that articulation. Only few days back we decided this topic I sent to them. Articulation is a Tolgapiyar will talk how the word is started. He will talk about the articulator's point of articulation. That means undi mudalai, undu vili tondri, pirappiyal. That means where the sound starts. That means where it starts. It's called the point of articulation. The instrument is an articulator. What we articulate is the making sound into words, words into ideas. So that means when the expression is called articulation, ultimately, whether it's a sound or word, then I am trying to say the roots of articulation of the Dravidian ideology or the self-respect, whatever we call it. I am trying to trace that particular roots in the already existing historical and cultural setting of specifically Tamil Nadu and a little more than South India and in greater sense in the Indian subcontinent. Now this is what I am going to do it in a precious time. Let me tell you, that when we talk about the Dravidian movement or the self-respect movement, what are the key instruments or key aspects of the Dravidian movement? For that matter, self-respect movement. First, I will say important, the primacy of education. The primacy of education, education for whom? Then education for all. Education for all, that means spread of education and the universal nature of the education is the first point of articulation. That is the beginning, that is the root. So where it starts? Today, Tamil Nadu is the highest GER, General Enrollment Ratio. What country is trying to achieve by 2035? We have done already long back. We are almost about 45% more than what is the all India average, GER. The number of women who are pursuing PhD and PG are the highest in this country. The number of people who are working in the factory, 45%. 45% of the people who are working in the factory among the women, they are living only in Tamil Nadu. One of the fastest growing economy. So that means the basic is education. So then where it starts? 2000 years back, there is a king. You have to note what is his name. His name is Arya Padai Kadanda Nedinjaliyan. The Nedinjaliyan who crossed over Aryan army, whatever it is, symbolic name could be. But what he said is very important. He says, my government will follow the path shown by the learned and knowledgeable people. Arivudayon aru arasum sellum. My government will go by what a knowledgeable person says. Then who is that knowledgeable person? He asked this question. He says that within the family, normally we say that Muthon Varuga Yenadu. Within the family, we always give to the importance to the seniority. Seniority means who born few years before. And the Arya Padikadanda Nedinjaliyan says it's not that. We won't count the number of years as a seniority. Who is educated, who is knowledgeable, he is important. And this society is divided. Already in Sangam age, the four-way division is already started showing its head. He uses the word Vetrumai Therinda Narpalullum. That means the four-way division which all of us know. Out of that four-way division, whom you call as the lowest division, if he learns and educates himself, and you consider whom you consider as the highest division, he will go and listen to him. Have you ever heard in India something like this is articulated? Something like this articulated? Kedil Vilichelvam Kalvi, Madalla Matrayavai, Thiruvallur out of 1330 couplets, he devotes 50. Kalvi, Kallavai, Arivudamai, Pullarivanmai, Kelvi. 50, five genre, 50 song. Unimaginable importance to the education and education to all of Sangam poets. Okay, now education to women. Minimum something around 31 poets, people, minimum, different counts are there, women. Who are these women? Kuramagal Ilavayiniyar. A Ilavayini is supposed to be belonging to the Kuravar community. And Venni Kuyathiyar, a girl from the family of the potmakers. Avayar. What they wrote about it? They wrote a very self-expressive love poems. Even today, you write that kind of self-expressive love poem, somebody is going to come to your inbox in Facebook and going to advise you. Don't write like that. Somebody is going to tell that. Even I don't think that what Velli Vidya wrote and Avaya wrote and Venni Vidya wrote, even you have the freedom even today. And then somebody is going to advise you. They wrote. Not only they wrote love poems. Avayar I call the first ambassador of Indian subcontinent. She spoke politics. She goes in between two kings who are going to war. She talks diplomacy.